Well, let's take a look at what is happening in the markets, and we start off with the local bourse that seems to have caught the slippage from the Asian markets and sunk deeper into red territory today. Of course, we are awaiting the inflation figures for September that are coming out tomorrow. The all-share declining almost 0.4%. Of course, we have had a reversal of some of the losses that we had seen. At some point, it was down more than 1%. We are seeing the bulk of those losses coming from the financial 15 there, with the index experiencing a loss of just shy of 1%. Industrial 25 declining almost 0.33%. But still backing that trend and extending its gains less than the rate that we had seen, though, in the last few sessions, as the Resources 10 complex up by more than 0.25%. Let's take a look at what is happening with the markets stateside, and of course earnings they're still rolling in. We are seeing investors also kind of digesting comments coming out from Fed officials, which have basically created a narrative of a patient approach with a possible longer-term trajectory on interest rates. So a downward move there. S&P 500 declining almost 0.33%. The tech-heavy Nasdaq giving up almost 0.1%, and the Dow shedding almost 0.25%. Let's take a look at what is happening in the European markets, and on that front also earnings are rolling in. We did have German software company SAP with its shares going to a record high, as we saw an upward revision of revenue there. Also seeing the German shipping giant Maersk also upgrading its guidance on earnings there. Quite a mixed picture that we are seeing there, but mostly red. The CAC 40 being the only bourse in green territory, 0.05% above the flat line. The FTSE 100, though, declining more than 0.1%, and the DAX down by almost a similar margin. Let's take a look at what is happening on the currency scene, and we start off with how the rand is doing against some of the major currencies. The rand coming back a little bit there with a little bit of strength against the US dollar at 17 rand 53, against the pound at 22 rand 76, and the euro at 18. Well, the rand against the euro at 18 rand 96. Let's take a look at how the other currency pairs are doing, starting off with the euro dollar at 1.08, pound dollar at 1.29, and the yen getting even weaker against the US dollar, now just above 151 against that currency.